Nation, it is Monday, which is probably why I have this feeling of, hating everything, but I'm with you, you're with me, we're just having a good time. I love your faces. Let's talk about newsy type stuff and things. And today we start off with the news that, as of January 2013, Sony will cease production on cassette recorders and players. Which I guess relates to our other story, Sony still made cassette recorders and players. And honestly, I didn't know that they actually still made these things. I mean, I guess it kind of made sense. But seeing the cassette player die makes me realize, oh, I'm gonna die one day too. I mean, I remember back in the day, I was watching Home Alone 2 before Macaulay Culkin got all like looking like he was on heroin. And he was playing with that marketing genius that was the Talk Boy, and then I got one for Christmas and I kept fucking playing with it. Or as the RIAA would probably define me, a dirty damn pirate. So to all the cassette players and recorders of the world, rest in peace. You are and were described, rightly so, as a game-changing device. Yes, you would later be dwarfed in comparison to the anti-skip CD player. You were a good and supporting friend, and as long as I wasn't too abusive with you, I could always fix you unless I didn't have a pencil to turn your wheels. So rest in peace, old friends. Then in very awesome news, faster commercial air travel may be around the corner thanks to a British company by the name of Reaction Engines. They've developed this jet engine they call Sabre, which stands for Synergetic Air-Breathing Rocket Engine. And they say it operates in two modes. The first is air-breathing mode. With a conventional rocket engine, you have to have liquid oxygen on board, but with the air-breathing engine, it takes in atmospheric air and uses that oxygen, meaning you really don't have to worry about having any on board. This lightens the load of the aircraft, it's cheaper because you don't have to buy it anymore, and because you're pulling it in from the atmosphere, there is no limit to how much you have. And so once the aircraft goes above the atmosphere, they switch it into the second mode, which is rocket. And Reaction Engines say that allows the aircraft to go 5 times the speed of sound. To which many people hear that and they're like, no, that's too fast, I can't do that. But you actually could. Now the main concern from Joe Blow is, oh, well, my body can't handle, what is the G-force? But G-force doesn't relate to speed, it relates to acceleration. When the space shuttle's taking off, you know, you go 25,000 miles, those guys are dealing with like 3 Gs. That would be uncomfortable. Even 2 Gs, I'm like, no. But this engine isn't going 25,000 miles per hour, it's going like 3,500. I mean, you just have to take your time accelerating to that top speed so people felt comfortable. Like for example, if I wanted to do DeFranco Down Under, I have to go from LA to, let's say, Sydney or Melbourne or just someplace in Australia. A normal flight, that takes 14 to 17 hours, but this is gonna take 2.5 to 4 hours depending on how long it takes to accelerate. That's insane. What you essentially have is 20 years of hard work. That's how long they said they've worked on this, and I can't wait. Then a news that amused me, 4chanprankedtime.com, where they had their like, who is the most important person this year? Let's put a poll on the site. And 4chan made Kim Jong-un the person of the year. Not only that, but they gamed this system so much that they were able to spell something out at the beginning of everyone's names, which was KJU gas chamber, otherwise known as Kim Jong-un gas chamber. And then nation, let's talk about the most requested story of the day. I can't believe it. Celebrity news starring everyone's favorite old school rapper turned TV detective Ice-T and his wife Coco. I was not aware, but apparently women everywhere look at this relationship and they're like, this is real love, I want what they have. So that does explain why it was the most requested story / why everyone freaked out when these 4 pictures from MediaTakeout.com were posted, and wow, she seems to be hanging with some dude that's not her husband that turns out to be a guy called AP9. Which, side note, I don't know what AP stands for, but it's definitely not advanced placement if you are messing with Ice-T's wife. Like, you know how last week I was like, I don't mess with real cowboys, I also don't mess with real gangsters. Like one of those old school rappers that rapped about stuff that like he actually did and not like just, I have nice things and I fuck that girl cause she likes my nice things and my money. But these pictures came out, she was like, wait, what happened? She went to Twitter, told everyone to relax, but then no one relaxed, including her husband, who then went to Twitter to explain the situation, saying that she gave her explanation of the pics on the net from her first weeks out there with some guy. She said he knew someone in the crew from our show and would pop up wherever they would go, and he said he knew me and I don't know that dude. Regardless, they would take pose pics every time, most of them disrespectful and in bad taste. She's made me look and feel like shit. Which then Coco responds on Twitter, I imagine because they both have cell phones that are unable to make them contact each other. She says, Ice is right, the pics I took with the man were in poor taste, and I disrespected my husband, however the pics were the only thing that happened. And I don't know, like, my opinion on this, like, if this happened to me with my significant other, no, it's done. Like, I don't know what kind of pictures you take with your friends of friends who aren't really your friends, or like, if someone from the nation comes to me, I like to not do just a really boring picture. I like to pick people up, have them punch me, sign their face. I've never thought, hey, I'm gonna take this picture where, you know, it looks like we're gonna fuck. That also comes from someone that's never had to deal with that situation. Like, in my head, like, if that happened, I'd go up to that dude and I'd be like, hey, or rather, hey, AG3 or whatever the fuck your name is, you take a picture with my wife again? Fucking, I'm not saying that I'll do something, but like, People die all the time from random things. And I get it, you're slow, she's easy, it's a match made in heaven, but you ever get on this side of me, it's not a good thing. And I get the mistakes happen, but if it happens again, I'll be the one making mistakes. But in all honesty, it would probably go down more like this.
Hey! I'm sorry I'm yelling. Dude, that's my girl. Okay? There's no need to turn off the music. Don't turn off the music. Look, all right, cool. Cool, buddy. You're in trouble, girl. I'm not talking to you.
Like, my rule in relationships on how I act is like, hey, how would this be perceived if it was the other way around? Like, would I be pissed off if my girlfriend was doing the same thing? I'm just saying Coco and that dude look really, really comfortable. Like, not like, oh, hey, I know your friend sort of comfortable, but in like, hey, remember that one time I put it in your butt and you were totally cool with it kind of comfortable? Yeah, it looks like that kind of comfortable. But Nation, what do you think specifically about this story? But also, if your significant other was in this situation, would you forgive it? You'd talk it through, dump them? Let me know what you think and why in the comments down below. Remember to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Leave a comment down below, join the conversation, maybe hit the like button, favorite, subscribe. But of course, as always, my name is Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, I'm gonna end you. You think you can just take pictures like that? I'm gonna... Wait, I'm not good at being intimidating.